Hello, this is Martha, and today I'm going to be digging out caladium bulbs to store them for the winter. I have been waiting for the last minute because I have never dug them out, and I had such a trouble, so much problems trying to grow them this year because of the fungus gnat. So I feel bad to clip them, dig them out, and store them. I already took some out from the different little containers, provisional containers that I had. And I say provisional because I didn't know exactly what I was doing, and we're moving, and I didn't know exactly when, so I wanted just a square little something that I could put together to take faster or easier in the moving. But anyway, I took some already out, and I have a bunch. I already checked that they don't have rotting parts. This one had a really bad case of goopiness. It was rotting. I am not going to throw it away. I'm going to put it to dry, and maybe this is an experiment. Maybe next year it will come back. All the other ones look okay. So I'm putting them on some napkins on a part of the counter that we don't use, and I have been letting some dry. This one is already dry, super tiny, and I have the name in here. I had it on a napkin, which this is probably going to be backwards, I don't really know. But I have the name of it, and I'm going to put them in some baggies that I did not buy in a garden center or anything. I bought them at Hobby Lobby, and they are for bakery things. And the price was excellent. It's $1.99 for 24 baggies. So I'm going in this direction. I'm going to have all of these drying and having the name of them on the napkin so I don't get them confused. I put a short video here in the channel with the caladiums that made it, and you can see they are gorgeous. All of them are gorgeous to me. Let's dig some out. I haven't been watering them for a long time, so they are dry-ish for the most part. And let's start with the next step. These are the ones that are already dug out, and I'm going to have the name on them. In this case, this is the Passionista. I am not going to touch the little sprouts that it has here at all. I'm just going to let them dry completely and put them to the side. This one already has its name, and it will go into a baggie with the name. I think I'm going to start with this one because this one is actually drier. I will be gently moving the dirt around, and I think this is way too big for what I need. But since the dirt is dry, I'm just afraid my hands are not going to be enough either. Maybe I should get just literally a tablespoon. I don't remember how many I put in here. Probably only one or two, I don't know. So here is one. This one has been trying so hard. It's one of those that I had to get rid of a lot of the rot in it, but still, I mean, for the leaf it has right now, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell much, but it has several very nice sized leaves, and right now I have been just letting it be a little bit because I never like cutting plants that are trying. But if I'm going to keep them for next year, this is the way to go. All right, Of course, I don't have my shears with me or any scissors, so hold on a second. Okay, I found this pair of scissors. I just put a little bit of alcohol because who knows what I cut last. And here we go. A little snap. And a little trimming of the, whoops, I'm not even in the screen. Trimming of the roots. And for all the other instructions and videos and articles that I have been reading, this is the way to go. So I'm just going to cut the skin over here. And it doesn't have a lot of dirt, and it definitely doesn't feel like it's rotting because pretty much it was half of it already gone anyway. So I will leave it on its napkin over here, and with the name, which in this case it is the red something or another fire. I'll put it in the screen. Let me see if I have any other one in here. It doesn't feel like it. Okay. Now this I haven't been watering for several days, but still feels a little on the moist side. And I can tell that the bulbs multiply, grow, and expand because they have leaves in many other areas. So this is interesting. It will be fun to see if it is just one that grew or many that clumped. It doesn't feel like it's rotting. So, okay. For now, what is this? Oh, hold on. There's like this area over here that is dry. So maybe there was some rotting after all. This feels like it's going to divide. For now, I'm just going to leave it like this to dry because I don't want to end up breaking it too badly. And although there's still some little leaves about to pop from over here, I am going to cut them. And here we go. Okay, and as, whoa, this one just got all by itself. Anyway, I know this is the same type of this other one that we just finished, so I'm going to put them together. I think because I had already not watered it for a while, it got dry. So it kind of has like different little layers that are coming apart. And this other little, well, it's supposed to dry. So this other little dry part, I don't even know if it is dead or just dormant from, you know, the drying process. But I'm sure nature will forgive me if I didn't do it correctly. And next year, we'll see what happens. I'll just trim the little roots from over here. and sit it next to his friends over here to dry. I should have had a little container for the rest of the other stuff. I still might be able to do so. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. The stuff over here and the balls on the other one. There. So let's continue. Here's another clump. That also feels like two. Even when I just got them for the first time, they felt too papery. And they were fine. They had a lot of leaves. So what I'm thinking is that even if it is looking a little papery, I'm just going to leave them alone. Just cut the tips, that anything that seems like it's going to be a leaf, so they can go to sleep. Can you hear? Feels leathery, kind of papery. But anyway, it doesn't feel, it feels more like there's a little layer of papery area. A little area of papery area. Well, okay, let's chop this a little more. Put it over here. Go to the next, which still has these little baby leaves. This is separating, so let's take it by itself. Okay. Sorry, little baby leaf. I battle so much against the fungus gnats to have them survive. But I suppose if I was to keep them inside, they could survive it, but they need a rest. So even indoors, they would go dormant. This one does feel fluffy at the bottom, too fluffy. Well, I'm going to save this one because it has a little bud. So, as it is, it's going with the other little chunks. And this, well, it's papery, but it's not rotting, see? So I'm just going to trim these roots and call it a day. At least on this one. I think I still have another one. Okay, this is another leaf. What is this? No, this is like a part that is doing nothing. It feels hard, so I'm going to put it to dry with the rest. Later on, next year, we will see what was what, if anything. I don't think he'll damage anything. Okay, so these are the two that I'm going to do for today. And these are all the parts, all the debris, which is not a lot, but it's some. These are the ones that are going to be left to dry. Another way to save caladiums over winter. This is another year, another house, but the same bulbs. Can you leave caladiums in pots over winter? I tested leaving the caladium bulbs in the soil in the same plastic pots. In this case, I left the bulbs in the containers, just indoors in a hallway as you see. Not even the cat paid attention to them. I did not water them at all. And as soon as the weather at night was warmer, I took the time to take them to a sunny spot away from the deer. I flooded the soil with water to wake them up, and a few weeks later, I saw tiny caladium leaves popping up. As you see, you don't need to dig out the caladium bulbs from your pots as long as you keep them above 60 degrees indoors, or if you live in a planting zone 9 and up, make sure you cover them well with mulch if they are in the ground outside. This is the month of April, and the caladiums woke up by themselves, and I was surprised because the first time I planted them, I had to wait till June, more or less. The red caladium is the same as the first part of the video. That year I dug it out. This past year I left it in the soil. Should you sow caladium bulbs before planting? This is optional, but if you want to, plop them in warm water for around 30 minutes. How deep do you bury the caladium bulbs? Make a little hole and cover it with less than 2 inches of soil. As you can see, not all the caladiums are sprouting at the same time. If your bulb is hard to see which one is the flat or the bumpy side, you can plant it sideways. It will take a little longer, but eventually they will all have leaves to pop up. The only thing is that it might take a little longer. And how do you tell the top from the bottom of a caladium bulb? There is a flatter side that goes down and a bumpier side that goes up. Don't overwater your caladiums. They don't like too much water. They don't like wet feet, and also too wet soil will attract the fungus gnats, and we don't want that. You can add a little bit of Epsom salt to your caladiums a couple of times in the season, and they will be very happy. Watch the next video to see more about gardening plants.